today's press review edition. Today being the 31st of January. Wow, this month is finally over.
Yeah,
it's been too long.
Yes, it's been too
long. I don't know
if
it's like, just me, but then...
No, always January tends to be too long, possibly because of some other issues, financial issues
to be specific.
Yes, it's like 3 months combined together.
I'm saying, and the days just gone so slow.
Yeah.
So today being the 31st of January and also being a Tuesday, and in this edition, today you'll be with me, Tandy Wenzumari, and I'll be taking you through the Daily Times and I link.
King coming and I'll be guiding you through the Nation newspaper.
By the way, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so
let me start.
All right. On the front page of the Daily Times, the headline here reads "Government sacks all ADMAC staff," and the sub-headline reads "Retrenchment starts today." And part of the story reads that the Board of Directors for Tribal Agricultural Development and Marketing Corporation, ADMAC, yesterday wrote all members of staff notifying them that the firm is implementing a 100% retrenchment exercise effective tomorrow. The corporation's head of human resources, Ethel Zilira Kasu, confirmed the development.
So finally they have been sacked?
All of them. 100% retrenchment. They're actually trying to bring in
new staff.
Yes, new staff, new faces, which also means new opportunities, new ideas to actually see, to say, how are things going to change at the corporation? Because if we're being honest, things haven't been going on so well with ADMAC lately. So the idea of making 100% retrenchment, they're hoping that finally the corporation is going to be doing its job as it should.
Okay, on the front page of the Nation, there is a story, Zuma case on new DPP's radar, and the part of the story says the new director of public prosecution, DPP Masauko Chinkakara, says scrutinizing of a defamation case against Anti-Corruption Bureau ACB Director General Martha Chizuma is among assignments on his to-do list. He made the pledge in an interview yesterday after the Public Appointment Committee of Parliament confirmed him as the new DPP to replace fired Stephen Kayuni with 14 votes out of 16.
I think it's one of the stories that we had in our bulletin last night, and I must say, I think there are many expectations with him coming in as the new DPP, because we knew, almost everyone knows how the relationship was between the DPP and the ACB Director General.
Yeah,
and
sure.
He did also say, apart from the fact that Chizuma's case is on his radar, he also did promise to say that the working relationship between the DPP and the ACB is going to be a good one, in the sense that he is not going to try to limit the duties of the ACB itself.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so still on local news, on the 4th page here, it says UK joins cholera response efforts, and part of the story reads that the United Kingdom, UK, has committed about 500,000 euros, which is over 600 million kwacha, towards Malawi's cholera emergency response. The development comes at a time Malawi is battling its worst cholera outbreak. Just on a comment on the response efforts that people have been making as far as curbing cholera is concerned in the country, I must say it's a job well done by so many stakeholders. We've seen several organizations taking part in several ways, making donations, others in schools, others in health facilities. I think it's a good move, but then I feel like also there is need for the donations made to actually be used for the intended purposes. Because I feel like that's where the problem comes in. Sometimes we might get funds, but are they actually being used for the intended purposes? Yeah,
that is one of the major challenges that we always face as far as misusing the resources that we have is concerned.
And, because looking at how crucial it is for us to actually curb the further spread of cholera, it is only right to say that whoever is responsible for actually making use of these funds, they have that in mind, to say that so many people are dying.
Yeah, sure. Okay, if you have just tuned in, remember you are watching Press Review here on Luntha television, and continuing with now business news in the Nation newspaper. Toyota defends title as the world's top-selling automaker. Toyota Motor Corp sold 10.5 million vehicles in 2022. It said yesterday should be defending its title as the world's top-selling automaker for a third straight year. Global sales for the group, including its truck unit, Hugo Motors, and the small car maker Daibashi. Okay, so they have defended the title as the most selling entity in as far as money selling is concerned.
Yes, of course. I think congratulations to Toyota. I think it's true. We have seen so many Toyota branded cars even in the country as Malawi. So I think congratulations to them. And then also I feel like I don't know whether to call them products. They're durable.
Yeah,
so I think that's why most people actually prefer to actually buy from them.
Are they durable? You have one?
Does it matter? I mean, I'm surrounded by so many.
Okay,
yes.
okay. I thought you have one, maybe. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, so you're trying to tell the people that I don't have a car?
No, you have it.
Okay. Anyways, so okay. Okay, so still on business in the Times here, a headline here is government hopes for ECF as IMF review meetings resume, and part of the story reads that local authorities continue to plead for an extended credit facility ECF from the International Monetary Fund as revelations indicate review meetings on economic developments between Lilongwe and Bretton Woods Institution resumes on February 6, 2023. There's been meetings, a lot of meetings when it comes to Malawi, and the IMF still trying to convince them to say they should actually, that perhaps maybe we might get confirmed, or maybe there might be hopes for the extended credit facility.
Yeah, maybe these talks will always be there. But let's hope for the best that the country still gets the credits as it is required. But
then at the same time, I hope that it teaches us a lesson, because this time around the IMF has been very tough. Has been showing us tough love. So I hope that we learn a lesson from this, because it's not just that they're being tough. There's a reason why they're being tough. We haven't been using it. We've been misusing the credit facility that we've been offered before.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Should we move on to us and catch pages?
International news.
International, maybe you have to take one before I move on to us and culture.
Okay, speaking of international news, a headline here reads Sudan's leader Burhan visits Chad to boost ties, and part of the story reads that Sudanese military leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan traveled to neighboring Chad on Sunday for talks aimed at cementing ties between two countries, the state-run Sudan news agency reported. Gen Mohan and Chadian interim military leader Mohamed Idris Deby met in Jamena and renewed their commitment to implement a 2018 bilateral agreement, the news agency said.
Okay, on the arts and culture, Black Isco returns with fifth album. Atlanta-based hip-hop artist Black Isco has released his fifth album titled Master of Our Fate. In an interview on Saturday, Black Isco said the album defines who he is, adding that it is probably the most reflective album in his discography so far.
Okay, speaking of arts and culture, I'll also take one. The headline here is Poetry Conquers at Lilongwe Fest. And part of the story reads that poetry stood out and showed its splendor and class blended with music at a poetry feast held in Lilongwe on Saturday. Marumbo Sichinga, who had been out of the picture for some time, led other poets as the headliner, invading the space with his 2023 comeback special themed all poems that aren't about love.
Okay, now to the very back page for local sports. Super League teams start tunes up, and it says some TNM Super League clubs have started training in preparation for the 2023 season. Mighty Mukuru Wanderers and Red Lions set the pace by resuming to training last week, while Nyasa Big Bullets and Mighty Waka Waka Tigers regrouped yesterday. Muyale coach Patricia Richard Mamza said they are scheduled to start today.
Okay, speaking of local sports, Hammers Axe 6 players recruit 15, and part of the story reads that Zuzu-based Super League side Ikwendeni Hammers has offloaded 6 players and signed 15 new members to revamp the squad ahead of the forthcoming season. Former Silver Strikers winger Ndazona Jatsalira, Mabuchi Msisha, Samson Banda, Roderick Gugudu, Patrick Gama, and Emmanuel Kantiti have been released.
Okay, now moving on to international stories. We have read our fans down, says Liverpool stand-in captain. Part of the story says stand-in captain Andrew Robertson said Liverpool let their supporters down in their FA Cup fourth round defeat to Brighton, but manager Jurgen Klopp vowed that his struggling side will not fall apart. The Reds opened the scoring through Harvey Elliott at the Amex Stadium, but Lewis Dunk levels before a brilliant strike from Karu Mitoma in the 92nd minute sent the holders crashing out.
All right. Speaking of international sports, a headline here is Russian athletes cannot be allowed at Olympics. That is a quote. And part of the story reads that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that allowing Russia to compete at the 2024 Olympics in Paris would amount to showing that terror is somehow acceptable. He said he had raised the issue with French President Emmanuel Macron. I think you know how almost everyone by now they know that there is this war between Ukraine and Russia, and Ukrainian President Zelensky is saying that Russian athletes should not be allowed at the Olympics because he believes that somehow also not just Russian but also Belarusian athletes, because Russia and Belarus are more like partners in this whole thing, because Belarus is more like supporting Russia in the war, and what Ukrainian president is saying is that all athletes from Russia and Belarus should not be allowed in the competition, because somehow he believes that that is somehow saying that war is terrorism is acceptable somehow. I don't know, but then I feel like
yes, sports is something else. The enemy is also something else altogether. So we'll see by the end of the day